Knicks rookie Pacome Dadiet is absolutely shocking Knicks fans as he's showing up and showing that despite being a project pick by the front office who they saw as a prospect for down the line, Dadiet has shown that he belongs in the New York Knicks rotation already, and Tom Thibodeau has been weirdly willing to put Dadiet in the rotation, and we're going to break it all down. What's up, guys? Welcome back to Knicks Digest. It's Chris here, and we're going to jump right into the video as usual. Also, guys, 30% of viewers subscribe to this channel. Let's get those numbers up. We know we can. And also, leave a comment down below your thoughts on the man himself, Pacome Dadiet, who's looked like an absolute stud so far early on into his NBA career. So here's the deal, guys. Pacome Dadiet, when he was drafted 25th overall by the Knicks, was someone who they saw as someone who wouldn't really have any impact on the court for at least like 2 years or so. I mean, when they picked him, he was an 18-year-old coming out of France. It wasn't even clear if he was going to come over or be a drafted stash player for a year. Then Dadiet said on draft night that he's playing next season. And Dadiet, very confident in himself. He was absolutely right to be confident in himself. Pacome Dadiet has shown up and shown out for the New York Knicks. And we saw this against the Washington Wizards. And we've seen this whenever he gets any bit of minutes. Now, Dadiet against the Washington Wizards tonight, as this is being filmed directly after the Wizards game, Dadiet's put up 9, 3, and 2 in 17 minutes. If that's not ideal ninth man numbers right there across the board, whether it's minutes, points, rebounds, assists, +6, plus minus, 3 for 7 from the field, 3 for 6 from 3. I don't know what is awesome ninth man numbers if it's not this. This is exactly what you want to see from your ninth man. Dadiet is a 6'7", 6'8" forward. He's a wing. He can play really the 2 to the 4. The man's versatile. He shoots the ball at an efficient clip. He's confident. His defense has been much better than what he was given credit for. When he was drafted, Darielle and I hosted a live stream that night, and the number one thing being said about Pacome Dadiet is that he's not a very good defender, and hopefully the Knicks could mold that. Well, either the draft analysis was wrong, or it took the Knicks literally one summer to mold Pacome into a great defender. And it makes sense. Pacome has shown that he's got a good head on his shoulders for when it comes to basketball IQ. He's gone out there. He's gotten serious minutes in Summer League. He now's gotten minutes in the NBA also, which is not what we expected. Going into the season, it was really thought that Dadiet would spend a lot of time in the G League so he could hone his skills as a very young player for the New York Knicks, but that is not at all what's going on right here. What's happening is Dadiet has shown up and has decided, hey, I'm here, I've arrived, I'm that good already, I deserve to be in this rotation over Matt Ryan, who the New York Knicks signed to be their ninth man. The Knicks also have Landry Shamet waiting in the wings if he can get his shoulder healthy. But right now, how do you take Pacome Dadiet out of your lineup? The man looks good. He's shooting the ball well. He's everything you want out of a ninth man. He's a two-way player, hits threes. Has a bit of an off-the-dribble game also. Made some smart passes tonight. I understand this is against the Washington Wizards and that the Washington Wizards aren't very good, but it still goes to show that when Pacome gets serious minutes, the man does perform. Now, as I mentioned, these were his numbers tonight, and shout out to Knicks Muse for bringing this up. Pacome outplayed second overall pick Alexandre Sarr, who is also from France. Now, Sarr put up 8 points, 4 rebounds, and 3 assists, shot 4 for 12 from the field, and 0 for 4 from 3. Now, it begs the question, who would you rather? Would you rather have spent a second overall pick on a guy who looks like if Wembanyama didn't pan out well, or if Wembanyama panned out really bad, or a version of Porzingis that didn't pan out well? And obviously Sarr's a couple games into his NBA career, and I think for sure he's going to be an awesome defensive player by the time he's in his prime. But as of right now, why is a guy who was picked second overall looking worse than a guy who was picked 25th overall? It goes to show that the New York Knicks know exactly how to draft. They're very smart. They're just a good organization now, and you have to give the credit to the front office. Leon Rose and William Wesley have been absolutely phenomenal when it comes to drafting, with their only real misses outside of the draft lottery being Trevor Keels, who they picked, and then they believed in him heavily, then all of a sudden waived Keels after he didn't really ever play well. And then also there's Rokas Jokubaitis, someone who wanted to come over and play for the Knicks this season, but with guys like Cameron Payne and Tyler Kolek on the roster really backing up Jalen Brunson, And also having Deuce McBride as your sixth man, there wasn't exactly a spot for Rockes, and Rockes didn't want to come over to the NBA just to sit on the bench, which is why he still plays overseas now, though he probably will look to start his NBA career at some point. The Knicks own his draft rights and can feel free to trade it, but for some reason, these two guys right here, and Leon Rose and William Wesley, love to have the draft rights of random players. Even a 37-year-old who's on the Spurs, the Knicks own his draft rights. And by on the Spurs, I mean coaching on the Spurs. Like, I think he made a joke about it when the Knicks acquired his draft rights. Why did the Knicks want his draft rights? Literally nobody can answer you that. It might just be Leon Rose, just makes him feel good or something. But look, the Knicks thought of Pacome as a long-term project pick, and that is what Rick Brunson highlighted him as the Knicks assistant coach mentioned, that if you take a young kid like Dadiet, the guy they just drafted, you could take him and to Rick Brunson, you got to give him a window, a college window, 4 to 5 years. You can't give up on a kid who's going through his college years in the NBA. I mean, Pacome played overseas. He's been a pro. He's been in this area of his career where he's consistently been at a professional level. So you usually see those guys come in and they're pretty ready to go even at young ages. And once they figure things out, they become very solid players if they already had a leg up. Now, Pacome already looks like a solid role player. Again, ninth man stuff. I'm not saying start Pacome, but he's a great ninth man right now. And we expected him to literally be the last guy off the bench. So Pacome Dadiet has gone out there and stunned Knicks fans like myself. I've been a supporter of Dadiet because you see a guy who's 6'8", who's athletic, who can shoot the ball. There's everything there that he should be a good NBA player. Pacome has showed that. He's also shown that his defense is just way better than anyone expected. Dadiet's doing everything right with the New York Knicks, and it's clearly having a positive impact on the New York Knicks, who are now kind of putting some wins together. I know that the 3-game win streak consists of the Brooklyn Nets, and the Washington Wizards, but still, I'm still going to be happy about it, and I'm still going to be happy about the fact that the Knicks have a guy in Pacome who looks way better than anyone expected him to look. Now, Dadiet hasn't really gotten consistent minutes. He's playing 9.6 minutes per game, and that's very on and off. And in these 7 games that Dadiet's played, he's averaged nearly 3 points and 2 rebounds. But the key is that he's shooting 45.5% from 3, which is what Matt Ryan shot from 3 last year. Now, Dadiet's only doing it on 1.6 attempts, but still, you like to see it. Frankly, you just do. I mean, yeah, the field goal percentage has got to get better. Most of his shots are coming from behind the arc right now, and that's where he looks like he's at his best. I'm a big fan of the way that Pacome Dadiet plays the game of basketball, and obviously he's going to need some room to grow. He's not someone who's going to be in the playoff rotation this year, but we're seeing that he's way better than expected and way farther along in his development than most people would have expected him to be, myself included. Now, Tom Thibodeau spoke on Pacome after the second Brooklyn Nets game, saying the intensity is different in the fourth quarter. This is about Pacome, but all the young guys really. Our young guys have to go through it first. I think the more they go through it, the better they're going to understand that intensity. Now, this was a question that Tibbs was asked specifically about Dadiet. So seeing this response, it is a bit more about Dadiet than anyone else. Now, Pacome Dadiet, I mean, frankly, he just looks good. He looks good. Tibbs clearly is acknowledging it and playing Pacome as a rotational piece. Now, Matt Ryan snuck into the rotation for a bit, but the Knicks like Pacome better. He's taller, he's a better defender, and he's shooting well. So there's everything you want out of a ninth man, especially if you're replacing a guy like Matt Ryan, who's a pure sharpshooter. Pacome has a few more levels to his game and is only 19 years old and just turned 19, guys. When the Knicks drafted him, he was 18. Look, I'm a big fan of Pacome Dadiet's game, and I think we're going to see a lot from Pacome going forwards. As Knicks Muse mentioned, he's 19. He's 19 years and 114 days old. He signed with the Knicks with 80% of his rookie scale contract because the Knicks asked him to do that if they would pick him in the first round. He's got so much time to improve, but he's already giving the Knicks some actually solid minutes. Dadiet is what you want out of a project pick because he's showing already that he's going to be a useful player for your team, and it makes you wonder what the ceiling is for a guy like Pacome Dadiet. There's a real he looks like a future starter in the NBA. I'll be honest, that's what he looks like to me. I mean, excellent shooter, Michael Porter Jr.-esque player who actually plays defense, and maybe I'm starting to get a bit delusional about Pacome Dadiet, but if the Knicks snag that 25th overall, you guys have to understand why I think Leon Rose is a top 3 general manager in the NBA. I truly believe the Knicks hit a home run on both Dadiet, on all 3 of Dadiet, Tyler Kolek, and Ariel Hukporti, and Kevin McCullough Jr. we're yet to see once he's healthy. And I do have an injury update for you with Kevin Porter Jr. Now, if you're watching this on Tuesday, November 19th, that is going to come out today. You're also going to get a little more from me now. I'm going to try to get 2 videos out every day along with some TikToks. We're kicking this into the grind. We're about to start an Instagram account. We're about to start a Twitter account. We might also go over to Blue Sky because, hey, man, why not? Let's get this Knicks Digest thing growing. Follow Yankees Digest. Follow Jets Digest. Even if you don't like the teams, come watch me talk some sports if you like watching me talk sports. And if you don't, well then, I don't know, don't watch it. I'm not your dad. I don't have to tell you what to do. Look, guys, have a great day and go Dadiet. I really wish I didn't do that and made that rhyme. That was so dumb, dude. Yeah, if you don't want to subscribe, I understand.